Hello, welcome back to Once Human, where we are actually trying to be less human. I don't know. Look at my little thing in the backpack. It's a little weird, but I don't have anything that looks scary until this point. Also, you can have this guy get gear for you, or well, not gear, but resources. Then you can just deposit everything you have in the storage containers. Now, I'm not really sure what the game is aiming for, because it doesn't really seem like it has PvP options, or I don't know, it doesn't really have anything except PvE. So to me, it really seems like this game would have been a great single-player game. The content that it has currently would be more than enough to make a single-player game, and that's the weird thing. This game is a lot better than Starfield or the Elder Scrolls game, more or less. Of course, it doesn't have all of the voice lines, all of the dialogue, and all of the weird storylines, but it comes very, very close. I think the major problem of the game is that it's too fun to play it alone. I don't know why you would play this in multiplayer, it just is too good solo. Another problem is that you have so many materials and so many resources and so many things to upgrade that at some point you'll just lose track of everything. So again, it's not going to be very fun if you're going to play it on a, I don't know, PvP or PvE server, because you're just going to lose track of everything and you'll want it to be single player. Okay, let's go to that destination. I guess I just wanted a smaller intro, because I've been playing for... Okay. I thought I could activate the crow. Or the raven. I guess it only activates when you're above a certain height. I don't know, it seems to have a lot of quality of life things that should be in many other games, but they're not. So this is a PvP server. I am not sure what that means, because you cannot play PvP anywhere you like, or I'm not sure what happens when you die. Probably bad things will happen. And also, I changed my gear a little bit. As you can see, everything is raid tier 2, which is kind of hard to get. I think it's very hard to get to tier 2. Plus, you can also buy some items or some mods from the shop, which are much better than what you currently have. Look at this. Again, it's a little weird, because you have to look at so many things and so many stuff to do. It dilutes the whole game, that's the problem. It dilutes the whole game, because the stuff you buy from a shop will be always better than what you can get by playing the game normally. And this is where the things get a little weird. Normal sticking attack. So I probably can activate PvP mode or something, I don't know, but I don't really want to do that. There are many weapons that will kill you very, very fast, like shotguns, close range, sniper rifles at huge distances, and so on. So probably the weakest part of the game is the actual player interaction side of the game, so that's the weird thing. I cannot believe they made such a great single player game and then decided to kind of ruin everything by making it this weird mishmash of PvE, PvP, collab, co-op, I don't know. Because you can do some bosses with other people, but you need other people to do the bosses, otherwise the bosses will destroy you. But at the same time, there's not much to do in co-op either, because yes, someone might gather materials and someone might build a base and someone might do the quests, but at the same time progression is kind of... I'm not sure if there is player trading. Probably there is player... Oh. That's another quest. And this is why people say it should be illegal to hunt animals with guns. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, part of the game is to collect a huge amount of resources and also do your tasks, but to do the tasks you also have to pick up some quests. You have to, you have to physically go to that city, the little town, and get a commission like this one, hunt animals or do that and that. Which makes the game a little weird, because, I don't know, you're not supposed to sit in your base and do something, you're supposed to go to the locations and do something, which, again, it's contradictory gameplay logic, because you're not supposed to harvest resources, you're supposed to do tasks. Which sounds weird, but you're supposed to explore locations, but you're also supposed to kind of just get better gear by buying it, so I don't know. It depends on how the final product looks like. To me, it's very confusing right now. Well, maybe confusing is not the right word. The right word would be why? Why would you make such a good game and then just make it so weird? All of the tacked on stuff. I'm here, yes. That doesn't sound, nothing sounds good. I guess now we can use our motorcycle. Most of the locations are more or less empty, but some of them that they have actually finished up great. Let me give you an example. The Rift Anchor, yeah. This place over here. The Hearst Industries. You'll have a lot of fun in this area and you'll find a lot of secrets, and to get the chest, the mythical chest, is actually a lot more complicated because you need to take an elevator to the top of the building and there will be an elite waiting for you, and the elite looks very, very cool. I think a lot of people will use that picture of the elite to... Wait, what? Let's see. Contradicting gameplay. The game is... Okay, don't do it. Don't do it. Leave the poor deer alone. As you can see, the deer actually have some kind of mechanic where they, if you leave them alone, they'll make a big family and they'll have more of them. The logic of the pathfinding is so bizarre and so annoying that it will actually make you feel like you don't want to play the game anymore, because as you can see, that actually showed me how to go backwards to go forward, if that makes sense. And at some point the road will just end because there are a lot of cliffs over here. And your motorcycle will get damaged and it's actually super expensive to repair it. So yeah. I like what they did with the map, but you'll surely find a lot of areas where you cannot progress on foot and you'll have to go back and forth, and it feels like an endless mayhem. This part of the map is clearly not finished. They'll probably do more with it. I guess they wanted it hard to traverse, but as you can see, the motorcycle has very limited use because you need to travel where they tell you to do. I actually trust the motorcycle 100%, and believe me, the amount of materials it needed to be repaired was, I would say, around half of my gear cost. Oh, don't do that. An experience. So yeah, if you see a location like this that is creepy, you can stomp the little ones, but it's kind of hard to see what the little ones are. The way the game works right now, if you fight in a location, the AI, or not the AI, let's say the game itself will spawn more enemies behind you. You can also do it in first person, I don't know. A lot of things that are so much fun and so interesting, you cannot climb that. Some doors you can open, some doors you cannot open. Some ladders you can climb, some ladders you cannot climb, so it just gets a little bit confusing. We're going to a tunnel. I don't like where this is leading. And some places just have doors that can open, some places have doors that cannot open. Like I showed you on that map. That map, for example, also has a sewer area where you can just go into the sewers and also come out of the waterway outside of the area, which is kind of useless, but it's a cool feature nonetheless. Now the big problem is how you get better equipment. Well, to be honest, you don't really get better equipment. You have to find the blueprints, which is the weakest part of the game, because as you can see, you'll have to find blueprints of the same stuff over and over. For example, to get this to the next tier, you need to find another set of blueprints, and you need to find, depending on the quality of the blueprint, it's very weird because you can upgrade the blueprints using the same blueprints, but the blueprints themselves will have, let's say, a quality to them, and the higher the quality, the more experience you get for that. So you have a really limited amount of gear. For example, this is all of the stuff you have in the game, all of the weapons. You might think, well, that's quite a good selection. No, it's not, because, for example, if you want an assault rifle, you have a lot of options, but for SMGs, not really. Because it's more or less the same thing, you just have to upgrade it. So as you can see, you have 3 types of SMGs. Anyway, let's not get into that. It's the same system for armor. just endless grinding to get gear that we'll probably be able to buy. So I'm not sure how the developers will fix this. This seems like it's one of the most pay-to-win games ever. Because some people just like to explore the adventure like I'm doing right now, but it's not efficient. The efficient way is to just do very, very repetitive content. Oh, that's it? Also, the enemies, if you shoot them in the leg, let's say, it will blow off the leg. If you shoot them in the arm or the head, again, different effects, and then you can stomp them. Well, not these guys, apparently. Yeah, just finish them off. Don't play around with them like that. So I don't know, for every good feature of the game, it has a bad one. So I'll try and make a proper review of it. But to be honest, what can you expect from a game like this? It's just great potential that will be lost because of the way they'll monetize the game, because of the way they will release the game. The game will be server based, which means you can have very bad times with the server. For example, I couldn't record the game because at some point the server was overloaded and there were glitches and bugs all over the server. So this will be a very limited server. So people will go from the lowest area. Okay. So this is, let's say, level 5, this will be level 17 and so on, level 21, and then they'll just go over here to the higher level areas. But as you can see, that's going to be the goal of the game itself. Level 3. Yeah, this reminds me of that episode of Batman of the Future. This reminds me of Remnant 2, I guess, because the first one is Remnant from the Ashes. There's the origin of the Great One. As you can see, even when you're an instance, even if you are single player in an instance, which means you are basically alone, you'll still have frame drops and some other issues that I don't think the developers will be able to fully get under control. This we just follow. This is so much like Remnant. Goat's cheese, what? Oh, this is what I was listening to. Okay, now this is the confusing part. Some of the quests will be very, very straightforward. Some of them will be very, very obscure and weird. Where are you supposed to go right now? So yeah, some quests I had to actually Google them. Some quests I will just complete by accident, and some quests I just had no problems. Sometimes you get to a location like this where it's not clear where I have to go. I guess, yeah, I have to go over there, but how do I climb it? I am so confused with this game. So as you can see, they have a great project, they have a great sense of wall building. Yeah, it's an invisible wall. Okay, I guess that makes it easier. Just go where there's no invisible walls. Okay, that was mildly scary. So how do I go there? I died. And then you also lose gear durability and some other stuff when you die, which is super expensive to repair. Well, I guess some people will like that aspect, some people not like it. Try that again. Maybe it was bugged or something. But again, there are moments where you feel like you're playing a totally different game. For example, this one. There is no more action, there is no more, let's say, quest. There's nothing else to do but to try and figure out how to advance in this weird little area. There are times where you'll just not fire your guns for hours, and I really mean it, because if you're farming, you're not going to fire your guns. If you're doing some quests, just better not to shoot at enemies since they tend to spawn more if you shoot or attack them. That is invisible wall. Okay, let's try this again. Yeah, I am really not liking this. Fine, let's drop down. So yeah, sometimes I was stuck in a quest just because it didn't trigger or I didn't understand what I had to do. There was also a weird quest. I mean, that it breaks its own rules. So for example, you have to get to a location where you have to find this location over here on the map, but it doesn't seem like that's the terrain of the map that it's showing you. So I don't know, there are so many weird quests that don't make any sense and they should probably be improved, and I don't think they have enough time to improve the game. The game is really going to release, I think, in 3 months, about 3 months from now on. 4 months, maybe, depends on how developers view the game. I don't think they'll release it during the winter period, because that's going to be... probably a lot of people will have a lot of other games to play during that time. Same thing happened again. Careful now. Which is you... okay. To jump that one over there. And holster the weapon. Now it worked. For some reason now it worked. But this is the first time I'm using this, I have to use this mechanic in... sometimes the rifle doesn't even fire. Yeah, and there are some elites or some bosses that have a weird effect, or not a weird effect, something like that shockwave you saw over there. Back again. Oh, it was the invisible wall, okay. Yeah, to me it feels like the game is almost ready, but they still have a lot of work to refine some of the mechanics, because as you can see right now the game is basically a platformer. Boss fight time. Maybe you have to press and hold space, maybe that was the whole key. Game is so unstable. Also, it might be that I have kind of like a weaker CPU, but well. Those are the shockwaves I'm talking about, and they're very annoying because they're very hard to see and you just have to jump them. The game is trying to be skill based, but oh, it's a lady on the tree. naked lady on the back of... So I think the... Is it bugged? Because it showed its real face a while back. Yeah, so shoot the lady. What is it doing? Is it checking on her if she's still alive? Better reward. Okay, that's over. Yeah. And this is how the bosses are. But you mentioned the boss has a lot more health, a lot more attacks, and a lot more damage. That's how you create a party boss. It was not so bad, but definitely you will die here a lot of times if you'll die here even not knowing how to get there. So yeah, I don't think this game will have any success. It will be fun for what it is, but is it a team-based? Wait, what is my quest? Control the rift anchor of the 4 broken delta, 2 out of 4. Out the broken delta. Well, one of them seems to be over there. Pure Salus. Sigma, I don't know. Okay. Probably I'll fix more or less everything you see over here, but how much can they really fix? Trash can. A very good source of building materials. The sniper rifle is not very good in close quarter, as you can see. So what was over here? I tried to play with the LMG, but it's just a lot of wasted ammo, and besides, it's like it's a little better to just one-shot your enemies. Yeah, that kind of takes away from the fear factor. So when I first looked at the game, I was drawn to it by its, how should I put it? It's supernatural, I don't know, feeling or mechanics. But there is actually very little of that, as you can see. Eh? And people putting down their camps over here is not really what I would say immersion. So, how does this work? I guess you can do this encounter many times, and if you go there, you will have to activate that. I don't know. And you can also only teleport when there are nearby teleport towers. Oh, I really want to do all of this stuff, because if you do these locations, they're the ones that will give you the cradle points that you need to advance. But even if you advance, for example, if you had all of the cradle points necessary, you cannot access the new materials until the game allows you to go to the new areas, and also you have to get the new materials as well. So this seems like it's a lot, but believe me, it's very, very limited, and I don't know, maybe they'll make it different for the full release, but from what I can see, you cannot go to those areas. I don't know. Depends. There are a lot of mechanics I don't understand, and probably I don't want to understand because they'll change anyway. So you can teleport to your home and then go to whatever place you like. You need to find an armor bench or weapon. Why did that tree fall down? This is near one of those weird painting areas. And that's why I made my base over here. Again, the game doesn't insist on the supernatural, the creepy, the horror elements, because it would have been so good if it insisted on those things. Hey, game without an identity, I guess. And look, but now that I'm here, as you can see, the mission looks different. It doesn't point to that location, it just points. You have to go over there. Now you can teleport. So you have a cooldown on your home teleport. So you cannot teleport at home anytime you like. So that makes it a little bit annoying since you have to go teleport home and then go teleport to a new location. What, Maxi?
I went to High Bank.
I told you before. She was the first woman to be infected.
Right, but she became something different from the rest. When I went to High Banks, there was only a hole where the tree would have been. It didn't look like anyone dug it out. It looked like it wriggled its own roots out of the ground.
What? How's that possible?
Brianna's not just the first person to be infected like this. She also became a new, great one. Most likely, the animals and women who've been infected in Myers Market are because of her influence. The question is, why did she do this? Revenge?
Yes, I was the judge, and I made
The cult of create?
It's a cult that started with some vulture gang dedicated to a god called the Creator. It's been spreading fast. But I won't allow that kind of poison in Myers Market.
So, Brianna...
Her boyfriend died in an accident earlier this year, leaving Brianna and her unborn child behind.
This sounds like AI voices to me anyway, so that's why I don't like to hear
All
them.
that cult stuff must have given her some kind of comfort.
She might have done something wrong, but you must have known kicking her out into the wilderness is like giving her a death sentence. And her unborn child, too.
I did what I had to. Rules are rules, and public opinion was against her. I tried to put her up in a small, safe house outside town, and gave her whatever she needed, but she wouldn't take it, and left by herself. Next time I saw her was in high. You can judge us if you want, but I'm asking you to kill that great one first. Whether or not...
Okay, so now what do we do? Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about, the weird quest design. What do you mean? You go over there, you kill the thingy, and then you go over there, it shows... It's so conflicting. It also will cost you some resources to teleport from here to there, so I guess we'll just have to see how it is. This is going to be one of those games where you will be reading a lot of guides or looking at a lot of videos to simply understand what you have to do. Tasks is Murmur in the forest. In a way, I kind of like this because it gives you kind of access to the map if you go and activate the towers. Also upgraded my motorcycle. This is the first tier of upgrades you can put on it. Guess you cannot go on the train tracks and be cool. The player base. Guess we're going back to that location. Hello, Tree, my old friend. Ouch, leg injury. That's also a mechanic I kind of like. Look at the health bar it has. The character near it has 2 wounded knees. Okay, now it's gone. But that doesn't stay on over there all the time. What? So now it shows up as a raid. Union. Also, sometimes it does a weird thing where it changes my injectors to the other stack or something like that. See? Be very careful, that can get you killed.
Is someone there?
Hey, good luck fighting these guys with a pistol or a shotgun. It's time for a little snack. So yeah, why even make this game a multiplayer game? I don't know. It's one of those things that will probably won't be kind of like, why? You'll always ask yourself, why was this good game made kind of split up into all of these sections where it doesn't really make sense? That's a bad idea. Sometimes the gun simply refuses to shoot, I don't know why.
I'm reloading. Cover me. I can't hold out much longer.
Hey, that was my little toy. Oh yeah, you'll also fight bandits, you'll fight raiders, you'll fight army. That's annoying. How do I prevent that from happening? I guess the only way to prevent that from happening is to have another pen.
Is someone there?
Is someone there? Who's there? Open fire! No!
Reloading. Cover me.
These guys are like the battle boys from Star Wars. Now that guy.
I'm reloading. Cover me. They never hit me.
These guys hit very hard. There are also multiple healing items. But they mostly heal you over time if you don't take damage, and they're a little slow, so this will be the main way to heal. Handbag with industrial parts in it, that's funny. I don't know what half of this stuff is, it's just going to be trash items. So yeah, you think you're gonna get a lot of good loot, but nope, it's mostly trash items. I don't know even what that card is for. Probably is to unlock the next area.
Who's there?
Leave me alone to loot. The beryllium crystals are kind of like the currency for upgrading, for making new gear. Well, at least at this point of the game, for me. It looks like you have to go into that place. Okay, we'll go there. Will you cannon? Yeah, sadly you don't really have enough time to really enjoy this stuff because as you can see it's going to be super slow if you don't hurry up. Right, kids? Yeah, so great concept wasted on this weird hybrid between single player, co-op, I don't know, I don't even think the PvP will be that interesting if it is properly introduced anyway. The huge vents, the vents that are made for people to crawl in instead of having a functional design. And as you can see, they kind of reverted to that old job. So this is my main complaint about the game. They revert to the stupid old trope of humans fighting humans, even though the world is ending or has ended. Yeah, you just were shot in the head. I don't need a medic. And then you get a vintage toy car. I still don't know what to do with those, but hey.
Stand around talking. Get in there.
Yeah, as you can see, they kind of destroyed their own immersion, even though this is a very cool scene and very tense and weird and interesting. Oh, you found a toy car, a giant toy car that you simply put in your pockets. Oh, some detergent. Let me take that detergent as well. You never know when you're going to need it. So yeah, I really like what they're going for, but I just don't see a unified game. I just see bits and pieces of everything, of everywhere.
You hear that? Don't be stand around talking. Get in there. I'm wounded. I need a medic.
Ah, you know what, let's use the grenades on him. I cannot even look at his gun. Okay. Some really weird sounds. And I don't think this was the correct way to do the quest either. Need the controller to secure it. So you have a limited amount of dungeons you can do based on the amount of controllers you have, which you'll buy. Oh, that's... I'm not sure what to say about that. So the controls are actually your limiting factor. So yeah, you cannot do all of the dungeons 1 million times. At some point you just have no resources left to do them. It says ammo pack, but I think it's just a ruined ammo pouch. There's nothing in it when we inspect it. Filing cabinet, yeah. This is the same way we came, but okay, let's explore it a little more. Yeah, this is the same way we came, or another pathway we can take, but it's going to be more or less the same thing. So we claimed the rewards, which was the important thing, so... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they can make this game fair or interesting. But on the bright side, this is the only game that I actually don't know how they could fix, or I don't know. Usually you have a lot of things to say about the game, but this one is... How can they improve it? How can they... I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see how the full release is. something in those dungeons over there? I don't know, that seems like it's a bug. Okay, let's leave the dungeon. So we did that alone. That was pretty fast, we can probably do it even faster. Control the rift anchor of the 4 broken delta. Okay, my task is what? Stop tracking. So I should go activate that one. Oh, the game is bugged already. Ah, well, I guess that this is what I'm struggling with, even though a lot of people say it's great. I just don't see it. Okay, let's read the quest description again so we can figure out what the game wants me. Find 4 rift anchors in the ruins. Okay, now I get it. So they just want me to do this, rift anchors, okay. So the rift anchors are these things. We have to activate 4 rift anchors to take control of this place, which just means more random content, because if you go into this place, you don't just turn on the thing. You turn on the thing and then you also complete the location by getting the stuff out of it and a lot of other stuff. So yeah, I guess that was all they wanted me to do, and as you can see, the story locations will become dungeons at some point and so on, but yeah, it is what it is. I'll definitely play more of it because it has some interesting things about it, but I really don't see why this is supposed to be single player or multiplayer or co-op or whatever. It just feels like this would have been a great game on its own just by being offline. That is if they managed to balance it out, because as you can see, that dungeon was very easy, and my gear is only kind of like the basic you can get. It's the basic gear you can craft. Yeah, it's kind of like the best you can craft in the beginning, but still, that was way too easy. Level 15. Level doesn't even matter that much in this game anyway. Depends on what gear you have. Anyway, see you next time. Bye bye. Oh yeah, I have to turn it off